Nice. Oh, confirmation. Thank you, Answer, for the raid. Welcome, everyone, to a guy in a very hot room having an increasingly large mental breakdown. Thank you, Jimmy Job, for the prime. 3 months as well. We're so back. We're so back. Am I bold? Yes. Yeah. The more astute of you would have realised that. Feels like there might be something a little bit up with the stream now. So let me rename this VOD, and then we can fix that. Thank you as well. I love interactive media as well for the prime. Thank you very much. Lots of fans of big business going around today. Oh, hey Dip. Thank you for the tier 1. Commiserations today, mate. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. There's still a way into OWCS for you. You just need the TU collapse to go through. And there's always a way. But honestly, actually popped off today on the Tracer, I think really did. Just a lot of tough teams to play. Okay, does this feel like everything's working as intended? Feels like it, doesn't it? Oh.
Start your climb to OWCS.
Yes, Fix. Go into the end.
Gain competitive experience.
You're an A and you don't want to stay up for these games. I mean, I think
for your skill level.
Next game will be what it is. Next game will be sort of what it is. Maybe probably just a Supernova sort of close it out type thing. But the last game I think is going to be the real banger. I mean, it might be, but I think Supernova are strong favourites in this promotion relegation thing. They 3-1 Young and Beautiful, who have obviously been involved in dogfights with the 2 teams in question. So very much expect them to re-secure their spot. How many TU players aren't looking for team? I think, who's posted? Heesung's posted, Faith has posted, Skyle posted. Am I missing anyone? Also worth noting, like, look, if you're Kevstar, you don't need to post looking for team, you know? The teams look for you. What if both games go to map 5 and I'm still going all the way? Once I'm in, I'm in. Do the teams look for Chris too? I think the teams look for Chris. I mean, there's probably minimal opportunities, nature of needing to change team mid-season, but I think Chris will land on his feet. Win a trip to OWCS? World Finals? Chris can fix Gen G. Fuck. And I feel like Gen G's so cooked. I don't even know what you do. I don't know what combination of things you could do that wouldn't feel like they solve it. Or feel like they even help that much. Oh, yeah, I don't know what you do. Get Kev on the Dip team. Fire the whole team and let Dip play. Yeah, I mean, in many ways, like some sort of TU scattered to all these different places, and then Dip and the boys just get the spot. Doesn't feel that upsetting. And then maybe Gen G steal a couple of the key pieces. Why have DVG fallen off from the start of the stage? I don't know. Are they playing that dramatically differently? Or did they just play like a particularly shit TU? And they had one close game against VP. Yeah, but they took VP to map 5 on, what, was it week 1 of the season? And if I remember right, at the start of stage 2, wasn't it like everyone only had like half a week of scrims or something? You know, so I don't know if there's like a massive difference. Did it manage to improve enough at the end? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there was like a massive difference or if in reality what happened is, you know, a couple of teams like Alcad and TM in particular really stepped up and sort of set a new level. And in reality, if I look at the gap between, say, Dip and Genji and TU and Peps, it's all relatively close. I mean, TU and Genji in theory should just have like the player quality on paper, but we all saw how that went. So I don't know. I think what happens a lot in Overwatch, and this isn't to discredit them as well, like coming up through promotion, getting promoted to OWCS and then hanging around those sort of like 5th and 6th teams is kind of, I think, realistically the best you can hope for most of these promoted teams. But I think people in Overwatch are always very quick to like overrate stuff or take one result and extrapolate it into like a big future. And I think that's a little bit of what happened to Quick. Same time any result goes through, right? There's always just a base of did one team overperform, did one team underperform, etc, etc. Don't think we're that reactionary. Only tell people to retire after one fight. Yeah, true. It is true. Cheesecake? I mean, I could have another slice of cheesecake. I feel like, I don't know if that's like that's a final game type one, because the final game is going to be the close one. Two slices of cheesecake, are you mad? I'm not mad. It would be my 3rd slice. When's uncoachable? Maybe you'll be... It depends when our producer uploads it. It might be tomorrow on Patreon. Definitely Tuesday, sort of latest. And then, depending on what day we release it, the following day for the YouTube and Spotify release. What percentage of cheesecake are we at? We're at probably about 66%. Will it involve cope? Yeah, there's a decent amount of cope. I think it's kind of reached the point where we're very much in a lot of accountability segments as well. What's rice cooker cheesecake? Because I heard you eating it. You just put cream cheese and rice in the cooker? How does that work? What's rice cooker cheesecake? No, this isn't the TU episode that's coming out. This is just a separate episode. Mainly about playoffs. A little bit... Oh, we paused. Mainly about playoffs. Mainly about... Yeah, I mean, we talk about all playoffs because there was like the Face It playoffs, the China playoffs, as well as the EMEA and the North American ones, etc. But also we talked a little bit about like the Lep, Zero, Wimone type tweets. We talked about the South America situation, since seems to be relatively undercovered by a lot of people. And a bit of a client of the week section as well. About Cold Metal 2. Oh yeah, we talk about the LCQ a lot. Not specifically Cold Metal. Actually, we do mention the speed situation, but yeah. Can you give me a rundown of what happened in South America? Yeah, like, 20-second rundown. So the TLDR is Group Senju, who are like a local tournament organizer in Brazil, submitted a big document accusing the team that won, this Zocorp team, of a load of things. But I actually stopped and read through the document, and it feels like a lot of the evidence provided really doesn't actually back up the claims. I think what Zocorp have done is they have used the rules to their absolute maximum. But I don't think they violated any rules. They probably boosted, alright? They probably boosted, but fuck. No one gets punished for boosting anymore. So I think my instinct is that Zocorp are actually going to be fine to go to the Esports World Cup, and we won't see them disqualified or anything like that. But I'm a little bit confused when there's not been any major statement or any sort of holding thing or clarification. Everything like that. Anyway, I can talk about it more between the break, because I feel like no one's really tackled the issue properly. I talked about it on stream a couple of times, but nothing major. Either way, though, Supernova, I feel like we're not in max quality either. Let's get... Come on, mate. Let's get it going on. Crystal clear now. First fight for Supernova. It's Pella trying to play the ball. Astra just going to play the Orisa. Orisa Bat Brig, pretty good at dealing with ball as far as things go. Bat Brig with the ball does feel like it doesn't have the same amount of... same amount of synergy, really. Going to be easy for Astra to keep this backline contained. Manny going to try and swing round the choke. Renko is peeking it back now. Disruptor shot to slow him down. And Pella has just been taken care of. No problem at all. Looks like the spear must have hit him in all of that. That'll be a nice, easy one. And this will be a quick reset for Dreamland. All the way back at the choke. And yeah, full reset. Renko about to have a window, significant window advantage, and Pella has bitten the bullet. Ball not gonna be in play anymore. They will just take the Orisa mirror, but obviously significantly behind on Terra Surge, behind on a lot of the ults. They're gonna come through White Room here, but Renko's gonna have that first window timing. Need to be ready to take a step back from here. But if I'm Supernova, this point is so easy to contest for ages. They don't need to force the issue. Ryan's had his recall forced for now. Grapes has actually died to Talisman. How has that happened? Window in the front. Lamp has been forced. This Tracer behind is causing problems. Ryan's trying to mark it now. They don't actually find anything out of this window, and there's a timing for Dreamland to go again. Difficult disengage for Renko as he's getting harassed by the Tracer on the way out. Now the overclock from Jutsu, trying to take it down, counter out that window, firing through it, but can't find any kills. Only an Orisa to shoot at now, and it's a stalemate. Astro continues to anchor the point. That Terra Surge is available though. Eyes on the Brig, walking into him, pulls that backline in. Lamp is good, but the pulse bomb's there with the combo. Astro and Ryan combined for 2, and the cleanup is good. And this might just be first fight. Talisman kills Grapes again. Will Talisman just leave Grapes alone? They're going to try and reset quickly here, Dreamland, but the touch is going to be very strained. Talisman has to run for it. Pella's actually going to go Doom to try and make the touch, but you can see Astro trying to play bodyguard, boop, punch. Pella's trying to be as unpredictable as possible to get the touch. Does manage to dip their toes onto it, but then immediately killed afterwards now. Talisman, can they get the next touch? No is the answer. 100-0 to Supernova. Ooh. I reckon 80%. Yeah, I think you're not wrong, Kellex. And I think once you go to these lower funded regions, so think about like Australia, South America, I think it's going to be even more common, right? Because there's no way to essentially legitimately make money through being good at the game in these regions, or like a full-time salary. So people will lean on to these illegitimate means. But yeah, so I'd be shocked if they come out with any sort of punishment for the boosting. Ball coming out now, and a Kiri for Dreamland here, so going for a very different look. Feels like it's been... We've not really seen this in any of the regions leaning into this type of stuff very commonly. Jutsu's going to be forced down as Pella's going to try and slide that one out, but they are playing inside. Astro's taking a nade on the walk-up, trying to get to cover, but very much a lone figure walking forward. They've isolated that and played into the trap. Honestly, I think like Supernova, they could have just gone point here rather than walking out into the Anna's line of sight, put themselves in a position where Hanbei can play the game. Just go back over to point, force the objective, force the Anna to drop to come to you a little bit more. If the Anna wants to have impact, force her to come into a dangerous position. Instead, they take the fight where Dreamland probably wanted it ideally. We'll see how they go for the retake now. Hanbei a little bit, or sorry, Renko a little bit in the open. Pella will get a slam, trying to force these cooldowns out, boot through onto the back. Renko's going to be forced to TP, and they are going towards point, but it's cost them a lot of cooldowns because they've gone the long way here for Supernova backline. But they made it, and I guess that's the important thing. Supernova get the flip here, and they can start anchoring on point. They just need to be very careful about all these boots coming through from Pella, rolling through. Eyes on it for now. Renko taking a lot of damage as both supports pocket each other. Trying to look for their next timing. Astro clears for point, but meanwhile, Jutsu's actually going to take a little bit of a step forward, looking for this. Can't find anything just yet. More pressure coming through. Pella behind. Lamp used forward. Astro actually dies. That lamp, I think, was intended for him, but doesn't find the target. And Manuel's just going to pick him off. This is for danger. I think like going to point is the correct decision, as they do avoid any trains here, Dreamland. I think going to point is the right decision, but you also have to try and find one of these key timings. I don't know if in many ways something like a Juno Brig would just be nicer here, because you have better stuff at dealing with the ball. You also have a speed ring timing, so you have that timing to flip away from the coast side onto point. But they have ults here with the support, so I don't expect Supernova to change anything in this fight. But Dreamland have all 5 ready to go. Supernova a little bit further away. And Renko actually wants to go far left here, potentially swing out with the window. Support's going to use everything. Wasn't even a shift invested. More pressure coming through Suzu, and Pella has really forced everything on the rotation. Pulse Bomb comes out now, manually kills 2. Kitsune Rush is going to save no one. The DPS have died. Renko and Grapes are living in here with the Kitsune Rush, but only for so long. The rest of them push forward. They're coming through now. Significant player advantage. They want to get the late kills if they can here, Dreamland. Not too much. But they're going to set up on the high ground mines for this next rotation as well. Yeah, and there we go. Grapes, I was about to say, I was really surprised Grapes hasn't made the Brig swap, but now he has. Will give Renko a lot more protection in this, but it's an early Kitsune Rush, and actually, for nothing the Brig can do about that one. Renko's going to get sent off the map as they go for this rotate. Mine's available from Pella, but with that early pick, they're going to try and save all of these, I think. No, Narwhal's going to invest for Kitsune Rush and die. Terra Surge to turn it now. Astro thinks he can win it. And I guess one questionable ult investment deserves another. Pella is just sort of roaming around, and slowly as we've been going through this, manually has been finding very high value just all the way through. Important picks, and it stops this retake coming through. Pella now has mines for this final fight. Supernova have 3 ults, 3 of their lower value ults, and a Diva swap now to help them with these rotations. Ryan with the first touch, bolt in. Recall has been forced. Renko uses the window but dies. Mine's still available, and they're not even getting close. Ryan has got the touch, forced the point. Astro sets up for a kill, but Pella has traded all the back time with Talisman. They can come back with player advantage. Mine's on point. Astro trying to play their life, set up a late touch here. Renko coming back on the Juno. Overclock available for Jutsu, but they need touches to keep this point in their control. Pella's going to roll through now, and it looks like Supernova have waited out most of this minefield now. Astro's going to get booped off though as he lands. Disaster. Pella with a big opening pick. Mines are still there. Jutsu with the overclock that has so much to do. Has to try and slide to live, but the chase is on for Pella. Another slam comes in. Grapes is right there with them, body blocking. They're chasing Pella out, but they need to get the touch very soon. Back in control are Dreamland. They're contesting it right now. Pulse Bomb out from Ryan. Doesn't find anything, and he's going to get hunted down. Slam comes through into the backline. Matrix is available from Astro. They've lost their DPS though. They're walking forward to point. Grapes nearly has a rally ready to go. Astro's actually found a kill, but Grapes needs to get the rally. Can't get the rally. Dreamland should be good for the cleanup off the back of this now. Astro with the DMEC. Significant player advantage now. Nano to ensure the job is done, and Dreamland will tie it up 1-1. Ooh. Yeah, so they eventually got onto the Juno Brig, or like the Bat Brig, which I think is really like the right direction to go into this ball comp, but because of the way the ults went, it took them too long, basically. So I think Supernova were making the right adaptations, it just took them too long to get there. And the nature of KOF is you lose a couple of fights, you're really on the back foot. Alright, 14-1 for Talisman. And it has to be said, when I was watching Face It Masters, Talisman, not really a player I've come across much before, but was going hard in all of their games. And I think, alongside Pella, really a key reason why this Dreamland team have found so much success and find themselves in this upper bracket game. Winner gets promoted to OWCS, remember. Bat Brig going to be the starting one here. So it's just going to be a full Bat Brig, Orisa, Sojourn, Tracer, Mirror. From both teams, swing out onto the point for both of them manually, halfway up to a rail, slides onto the high ground, but booped off. Spear is perfect. See you later. Slide can't save them. Astro nails that one, and now with that significant advantage, Astro's going to walk forward, take more space, can turn onto Pella. Now Narwhal has tried to walk forward, but 1 HP. Shield comes out now from Astro, completely zoned this Orisa. Pella will fall, and they convert the player advantage thanks to Astro's big old spear. Has to be a different Talisman, I reckon, Kellex, but I guess all names are eventually recycled. No ults for this retake to speak of. Just going to be a full another neutral again. Going to have to work their way through the choke. Ryan is keeping eyes on this Tracer, but Talisman keen to go top. I've got BAP sounds in the background, but manually got the opening pick. Continues their good work. Shield up from Astro. Going to wait that one out. Pella's still on the spin. looking to take over White Room now. Going to be joined by Manually. Little rail into Astro's head. Lamp's been forced by Renko and all of this. Ryan's trying to pressure the backline as well. Manually turns to deal with that one now. Astro threatening the idea. Ult's about to come online here. Full rail available for Manually just before Hanbei gets the window, but uses the rail beforehand, so doesn't have the combo. Terror Surge from Astro tries to quickly turn a kill. Window back in main from Renko, but Astro can't be saved by that. Now Renko needs something quickly. Trying to pocket his brig. Can't land the heal onto Grapes, though. That's going to be Grapes falling, and Renko just not a whole lot of things to shoot at to turn the fight. Narwhal's going to hit the boot back in. Lamp comes through now from Renko, but it will just be dying on the point. Ryan will be the last to go down, and Dreamland will get the flip. 60% conceded. Lots of slightly more ults invested there from Supernova in the form of that Terror Surge. So now, going to be a little bit uphill on this retake. Going to have a rally and overclock available. I imagine if I'm Supernova, maybe start with overclock, rally to keep going, but just have to be careful about that Terror Surge turn from Pella. Overclock comes through now from Manually first, and Supernova might just try and wait this one out. Astro's going to try and get out here. They're really keen to chase, but with the shield down, Manually's going to find nothing. They're really peeking to try and find one more shot from Manually, but can't land it. Chance for Jutsu to come through, Val. Pella's still holding close with a Terror Surge, though, so they have to be careful. Terror Surge now at the choke, pulls him back in. Lamp is out. Astro gets there, but Renko took so much damage. Shoots him with a good trade, though. That's Narwhal. No chance to rally, but Talisman hits for Rally Jacks as well. Pulse Bomb is good for it. Jutsu trying to find more, but the Orisa Shield just limits these options. Very much stuck at the choke here. The trades will mean Supernova can maybe take a bit more space on their next retake. But you can see Narwhal already coming back, and this time as Supernova walk up, they are walking into a rally. Walking into it soon, but Manually caught napping, caught too far forward. Now Hanbei's under a lot of pressure. Disruptor shot into the back. Lamp has been forced. Counter pain is good. Perfect from Grapes there. Honestly, so good at Brig. Definitely his best hero. Makes a huge play there to allow them to get no rally value with that counter bash. Great play from Grapes. Does cost him his life ultimately, but more than worth it. Window versus window for this next one. Astro's going to have a slightly quicker Terror Surge too. Talisman going onto the sim potentially here. Shades of EMEA. We'll see if he sticks it or if they're just trying to get to the choke. No, just trying to get to the choke quicker. Come on, just play sim. I promise you it's good. Window versus window, but Astro with a Terror Surge, so an ability to go through the window. Looking for the option. Window at the choke. Astro eyeing up his chance to go through, but Hanbei's expecting it. Uses the little bap dash back, but just so good for it. But Terror Surge from Astro finds a whole lot of nothing, really. It's at least zoned them out, but can he find anything? Astro was actually the one stranded, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Pella's Terror Surge ends up doing more in the end. Chance for a retake now for Dreamland onto this one. Brian is mainly just stall on the point here. I don't think Supernova have the numbers or the ults to turn this, and we're going to have to come down to one final fight for this Lijiang Tower. And looks like it might not be quite as Supernova favoured this series as we initially thought. Juicy's going to have an overclock to do it, and Grapes has rally advantage. So if they can get there, Supernova will have the ults first. But Manually is not far behind on this overclock, and Dreamland have the better position. Chance to start early. Ryan's going to take over the flank a little bit here, forces Talisman back. Talisman good to hold their recall, but Jutsu is coming with this overclock now. Talisman has the pulse, but needs to be ready for it. Overclock comes out, pulse bomb is there, avoided, but neutralizes the overclock for a little bit. Now Jutsu's going to swing again, but we need kills. Nails out one onto Narwhal. Lamp is going to be killed out as well. Dreamland are trying to flood forward. They need trades, they need something. Overclock from Manually comes back. He takes down Jutsu. He takes down Ryan. Both DPS dealt with, and now we can just pump damage into this Orisa, but there's still a trade available. Astro's got the shield down. Manually will get traded. Astro needs to get himself onto point. The flip goes through here. Dreamland back in control. Astro stalling it out. He needs help. Pella is turning that one. He's hunting down the map. Renko nearly has the window. Grapes nearly has the rally. They don't touch. Astro mismanages the juggle. The juggle. And, oh. There was a real chance for him with those ults coming back, honestly. We can have a look at that. Yes, they get the trade. Astro touches. Touching. Off it now, 96, 98. Yeah, he's really got the health right. It's not even like a must-live, because double support ult coming back. Is it just Narwhal? We can't really see it because it's off screen. Does Narwhal just body block it or something? Or find a whip? I don't think so. I think it might just be an Astro blunder. Alright. Big win then. Big win for Dreamland to kick it off. I'm actually desperate for a drink, so I'm going to grab another drink. Preds are up if you want them. I'll run an ad so it's out of the way. Yeah, I think Sam's on the roster, but he's not actively playing. I think he was really only there to fill in for Ryan right at the start of Stage 2. Obviously, these are the rosters still locked from the start of Stage 2 for the OWCS teams. Yeah, I'm not sure. It just seems like a mistake from Astro. I don't think there's much mitigation, really, for that one. Just should have had it. I mean, it still would have been a clutch for him to win from there, right? So, you know. But yeah, not a good start for Supernova. Remember, Supernova missed out on Stage 1 despite their roster's sort of history and reputation. This is thanks to a really surprising loss, so they need to be careful for it not to happen again. What am I looking at? I really want this drink. I know, I can't read all of this now. Can't read all of this now. If it's about the map bans, though, I heard. Alright, do you want to look into this tweet, see what's going on? New Junk City, Hazard, and Kiriko ban. I have time to read these tweets. Right, so. Is this just for stuff that Until's talking about? About the map 5 reset? Yeah, so for anyone who wasn't here, basically, in the first round today, and that was played off stream, it went to map 5. And the team with map pick was allowed to pick from any mode. So they picked KOF, they went to Oasis, and they won. And then when Young and Beautiful were put in the same situation, the admins insisted they had to go to hybrid. So we basically played Face It Masters rules for one game today, and OWCS rules for the other. I think the truth of it is we should have always been on OWCS rules. But I think once you make the blunder, especially because of the way it went, was, where is it? you know, Dildux ended up on the wrong side of it and lost, and then Young and Beautiful end up on the wrong side of it, you kind of just have to commit it. Ooh. Are we talking about football? Man United, Calix, yeah, Man United. So, our signings seem good. Still in that period of the season where every team gets to have hope, everyone has belief that their signings are the right season, and everyone has that hope that this season will be better than last season. So I am once again buying into the hope. They've signed Cunha, and they're probably going to sign Embuemo as well. So I think good signings, but bigger problems than maybe just the personnel, but it seems positive. Gonna come back out now. It's just be a full Orisa, Bap, Lucio, Mirror, Sojin, Cass, the difference between the sides here. You can see manually pumping damage into Astro. We have to use that spin just to get to cover more than anything else. So Pella's going to be willing to take that trade. Astro very much on the back foot. Pops a Fortify, has to try and get out. Doesn't quite have another spin yet. Trying to give the space. Does successfully give the space. Jutsu can't find the trade with that rail. Trying to clear the tracer now. Lamp has been forced. Pella is so low. And Jutsu, twofer with that one. Takes them both down the window to try and save it from Hanbei. But it's... oh, I was going to say it's too little too late, but maybe it's not too little or too late. Back into this. Tank advantage for Astro on life support. Narwhal's going to clean that one up as well. Boot back in. Jutsu comes flooding back in. Hits the dink as well. Narwhal is so low. Mate, Crepes is on the chase right now. Narwhal has survived. Talisman can come back into this and has the pulse bomb. Wants to contest. Dreamland do have control of a point during all of this, remember. So Talisman is buying valuable time here. Narwhal comes back in awfully low though. Pella's killed Grapes though just before the beat is available. Narwhal fighting for their life, scrapping, somehow still alive in all of this. How on earth has Narwhal survived this entire time? How on earth have Dreamland kept control of the point? And Supernova are going to be forced all the way back. And this is a rough start for him. Now trying to jump out. Javelin's going to be tanked by Astro, but Renko has to lamp window just to get the space, and this is going to be an easy kite. And they lose Renko. The lamp was still up. Renko line of sights his own lamp. Maybe he was booped, actually. Talisman has traded for it, but the trade's better. They have to walk up. Supernova might have to burn a lot of ults. It's an early high noon from manually. They lamp out as well. They're pushing so hard. The beat goes off from Grapes in time. They push back. Jutsu nails the kill. They have to flood back. Look at the touch, though. The touch is there. Ryan's got it. He secured it. He's going to get the flip as well, actually. So might just turn around for Supernova. Still pushing forward. Pella's got no choice at this point but just to reset. And Supernova manage a very difficult situation thanks to Ryan prioritizing the touch, making sure they can stall that one out. Hoyland is my sister's neighbour, so whenever he's in Denmark... I mean, yeah, I heard he might be going, actually. Heard he might be going. Some Italian clubs are interested. And what's happening now? They're going so quickly. They have to lamp manually out of it. Pella pulls them in. No side available for them. They survive it. Trying to keep them all alive, but Jutsu is so low now. The chase is on. Trying to hunt him down. Jutsu fighting for their life. Kited away from their team. And this early fight has gone all astray here for Supernova. Disaster with that one. And that's the point with this. They'll get the flip back. No hope at a touch. Ryan's going to have to just get out. Or maybe just die on point. Nowhere to go. And Dreamland. Hell of a start here. This is a crazy result. Not to discredit Dreamland here, but Supernova should be strong favourites for this. I mean, at the start of Stage 2, I even had Supernova not getting relegated. Over now to point D. Over to the junkyard. Window available for Hanbei, ready to go already. Ryan has the pulse in hand. Jutsu's going to charge up this rail and try and swing through. Rail is ready to go, looking for Hanbei now. Half HP, hits him on the way down. Doesn't force for lamp, doesn't find the kill, but can get a strong position on this top right-hand side. Got an angle onto Pella as well to force him back. Pella's going to have to concede a bit of space. Window is available as well. Pella's awfully low. Lamp and Fortify used. Window from Hanbei as well, just to try and keep everyone alive. Renko still has this window available. A chance for a better swing from Renko with it. Onto the high ground now. Still waiting for this window from Renko. They're going to completely wait out the window from Hanbei. Now Renko goes for his own one. Heinen in response with a pulse bomb. Shuts that one down. Ryan connects. Renko's been traded though by Narwhal. Narwhal and Talisman are getting so much done on this Lucio Tracer duo. Now Jutsu's going to try and take a more aggressive position, and Ryan's come out to help that side of a point. Shuts down Narwhal. Amber Lamp booped out of it. Pella's going to fall. And this should be the cleanup now. Ryan gets his third. Hunting down Hanbei, looking for the late kill here. Nowhere to go. Clean 4 in a row for Ryan and Supernova. It's been a tough series so far. They need their star man, which really is Ryan, to come up trumps for him. Nearly has another pulse bomb as well. Retake for Dreamland. Nearly have a beat, nearly have a Terror Surge, but Supernova, they're closer to both and closer to the overclock. Shield perk in play from Pella as he's looking to maybe go right side with this. Rail available for manually. Gonna take the slide. Rail available, can't find the connect onto Ryan though, so Ryan's gonna blink back to point. Another little dink on him, but just forces him back. Astro's going to walk in aggressively here. Grapes has the beat if they need it to. Astro has the Terror Surge. Lamp has been forced. Terror Surge now pulls him in. Pella is solo. Pella uses the Terror Surge, but I think Astro's might kill him. No, not quite. Pella's is actually bigger. Pella gets all the way through. Grapes drops the beat now, but it might be too little. Renko comes through. Overclock. They're getting themselves out of trouble with all these ultimates here, Supernova. They have the ultimates to save the day. Talisman, though. Talisman needs to live, honestly. Like, he's going to die on point. But really needed him to live and play for the touch, but he was stuck in too much with that. And Supernova, burn all the ults, but more expensive than they wanted it to be. Pulse available for Ryan, but Dreamland, they have the window to take the space. They have the beat if they get into any trouble. Ryan's hiding with his pulse bomb now. Lamp is still in play for Hanbei though, so need to try and force something out. I think they might have spotted Ryan. Pressure onto the rotate here. Hanbei trying so hard to hold on to that Lamp. Pulse bomb still coming behind here. Lamp has been forced out now, and the beat comes through too. Ryan's still in position, but they have found a kill onto Grapes. They now try and mark for Tracer, but Narwhal's gone all the way in. Ryan finds the trade. Has the pulse bomb available as well. 6 for pulse bomb. So much damage onto Pella. The javelin though allows for trade. Astro's still trying to force it. He's got himself a little shield to hide in. The window pocket from Renko is good. Now just a Tracer threat to deal with. Trying to pocket up his Sojin as well, but actually Juicy just walks out of the line of sight there, walks away from Renko. So a very messy, trade-heavy fight that Supernova do eventually win. Yeah, I think, yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, we barely see any sim in America. I feel like it's only GK who ever really leaned into it. Maybe a little bit Team Liquid when Knife is in, but that's about it. Really, it's all Tracer all the way. I think no Diva players as well. So I think BAP is maybe more viable in NA because of that. Also, just a lot of BAP players in it as well. Overclock available for manually. Going to try and bust this one open. Looking for a swing here, but the shield's going to have to get burnt down. And Supernova seem pretty good with a kite so far. Astro's actually very much stuck into point now. They can just turn and focus Astro. Another shield up, but he's getting forced back very heavily. Lamp comes out to try and save his life as well. Still needs 10% for his Terror Surge. They conceded a lot. Blip goes through for Dreamland. Now Jutsu needs to be careful. Manually and Talisman hunt down that one. They can keep pushing in for this advantage. Trying to keep them on the back foot. Astro has the Terror Surge soon to turn if they're not careful. Going to push it all the way out. Force Astro onto the low ground. And Pella actually just wants to finish it here. Terror Surge is big. Boot back in to make sure they can't escape. And Dreamland get all the cleanup kills there. Clean one with the Terror Surge. And Supernova have to play retake, but they're going to have 5 ults with which to do it. Plenty of time to get the touch onto point as well. Dreamland's here. Limited options, honestly. They can play it slow, try and bleed ults out, or they just try and make it as expensive as possible for Supernova to make their retake more possible. Jutsu's trying to come in. Full rail is going to start ticking down a little bit now. Slots it. Pots the overclock straight away, playing it. Window in response from Hanbei, and Jutsu's going to change the angle here. They just trade 1 for 1. Supernova happy to wait that out. Dreamland, though, getting ever closer to this beat. Narwhal still needs 20%. Supernova need to move sooner rather than later, but they come through this right-hand side. Jutsu with a strong position. Window to force them further back. Maybe a little bit shallow, but it does clear a decent amount of a point. Now Astro's trying to force it, and Jutsu good for it with that one. And just when it looked like Dreamland were bleeding the ults out, it's just over. Die on point now is the only option for Dreamland. They can play to retake, but a window and an overclock is a really reasonable price, I think, for Supernova on that one. Dreamland can play for retake. Talisman's going to be on the later spawn wave, so touch is going to be strained. Equal beat situation, and they have to push past for Terror Surge. So still in Supernova's hands. Ryan and Astro walking forward, trying to make this touch as hard as possible. Ryan is denying the right-hand side currently. They're going through main. Talisman's going to cop it. He dies on the way through. I don't think they can get it yet. Dreamland are just going to have to back it off there. Touch was always going to make that fight very difficult. And Supernova managed to just deny the touch, so they don't have to use any ults. Looking for some Saga kills here as well. Ryan harassing the backline. Pella's taking a lot of damage. More pressure onto it. Hits it. Juicy's going to finish it off. They flood forward. No ults invested from Supernova, and they'll get all the cleanup here too. Supernova responding strongly on this New Junk City after a bad start. Beat versus beat. Terra Surge advantage still for Astro, but Pella is gaining. Manly's going to have the overclock to maybe even start this one out, making this retake a little bit easier, create some space. Just has to be careful walking into that Terra Surge. Astro's going to hold for choke on the high ground. Swing on the main, though, actually to create some space with that overclock. Grapes under a lot of pressure, does manage to regroup to their team. Hasn't used the beat yet, trying to hold this one. Now the swing on, Mandy can't find the Lucio, though. Astro under a lot of pressure, very separated from his team. Has managed to stabilize for now. He's getting the pocket from across, and Pella's actually died while they go for this as well. So again, Supernova might be able to save a lot of the ults in this fight. They're forcing the objective. Lamp has been forced from Renko. As long as they avoid getting any late trades, they'll be okay. They deal with manually. They're all a little bit on the low ground here, so it's a bit treacherous, and they do find one trade. But they're all in now, Dreamland, just playing for those trades. That trade about as good as you can ask for, really, in this situation. And it's going to be another retake for Dreamland. This time, though, the ult situation looking much more reasonable. But due to some efficient fights, Supernova have 5 in the bank, so they still have the advantage. Narwhal regrouping with the team. Remember, 2 rounds up already, Supernova, so Dreamland need to find a way for this fight to work for them. It's probably going to be a long fight with all the ults in play, so they have to find a way to win it. Manny's going to get an early spear, knocked down low. You see Ryan on the far side of our screen lurking in. Windows will be exchanged on opposite sides of the bridge, and it's just going to result in a stalemate for now. Ryan has used his time to flank behind with his pulse bomb, though, so he has an attempt. Just going to blink towards point, though, try and deny the flip. Does do that. Drop down from Grapes to force the recall. Now looking for his attempt. Ryan's recall has been forced as well. He goes for pulse bomb, connects it onto Narwhal. That means no beat available. Terra Surge from Pella. It's not going to do anything. And Ryan finds the play, trades for recalls on point. Lucio's were both there to help their respective tracers, but the connect on the pulse bomb there, and really, I mean, I know where you want to help the point force here, support your tracer in those positions, but now Talisman denied for touch, and Supernova just close it out. What I was going to say is, I know you want to be in a position to help your tracer there where you can, but also have to be in a position for the big ult trade. You need your beat to be in play for that fight. Going down with it there, that's just, how are you going to win in that situation, you know? Ryan on my life. Just good for it, isn't he? Alright, Pred's up for the next map now, but tied up 1-1. Momentum very much with Supernova in that one. Down for an Icon World. Yeah, it feels like we did a decent amount of Icon World today. One of them was just a complete full hold into insta first tick type Icon World, but feels like it's been a while. Same with Blizzard World, just maps we haven't seen in a while. I think, was it Horrocks? I don't know if you still hear Horrocks, but I think Horrocks was saying it earlier. I'm a little bit surprised they've swapped the map pool. Just in terms of both these teams, and from the Face It Masters side and from the OWCS side, play one season playing the entire map pool, and then to decide whether they get to stay in OWCS or not, they have to play a slightly different map pool, including a brand new map as well. Yeah, no, agree, Horrocks. Yeah, it seems really odd to change it. I don't know why they wouldn't just close out, like, because it's still part of stage 2, right? I feel like for one, because they change it for the Esports World Cup as well, which I guess you can make the same argument for, but I think for the actual Esports World Cup, it doesn't feel the same just because there's such a long gap between the regular season and that actual tournament. You can still make these arguments of, well, the teams won on these maps, and then they have to go and play in these different ones. But there is like about, what is it, a month, maybe longer between it. So I think there's more justification, you know. I think most teams are in a situation where they, like, after stage 2, they took a bit of a break. Or after stage 2 regular season and playoffs, they took a little bit of a break, and then they're coming back to prepare for the Esports World Cup. So I think it feels less bad for the teams in those situations. But certainly for these promotion relegation games. I mean, how long ago was the end of regular season? Like, a week? 2 weeks? 2 weeks, I guess? And then you also get in a situation where if you're playing in playoffs of OWCS, you're preparing one map pool. But if you go into promotion relegation, you're preparing a different map pool. So it scuffs scrims for a lot of people as well. About 2, yeah. Yeah, it just seems an unnecessary complication. Hurrying this game up. It's classic bedtime theory. It's classic. NA always loves to become an unnecessary dogfight, even at the end of fucking stage 2, when it's like Extinction and was it Nightmare? Extinction and Nightmare just getting dragged into these dogfights. Hey, Nuclear. Crazy to be that Avo from Ayoma. Was he the French hitscan player? Remembering that right? Ooh, mid-town with choice then for the next map, if people factor that in for their predictions. If we lose our match tomorrow, we're in promotion relegation for Masters, and we'd win. We'd have 1 week of practice this new map, Atlas. But the Masters team have 3-week head start, I think. Yeah, because they could have just started already. Did I change my stream? Yeah, I've had to like fuck around with the settings a bit today because we were having a bunch of problems. Hopefully, engineers come in on Wednesdays and to replace a cable, and that should hopefully solve the problem. Same name as Mbappe, by the way, really? What, as in Killian? Perfect. Overwatch has been waiting on its Mbappe. I had trouble with it when you was in HEVC, so is it better or worse now? Can I explain how the LCQ works? Yes, so it's going to be GSL brackets. Let me get a bracket while I'm talking about it. But GSL brackets, and then it's top 2 from each group go through, if I remember right. Top 2 go through, they go into a single elimination tournament. So it's going to be 2 days of groups, 4 different GSL groups. So if you've not seen GSL format before, basically what happens is it's like a mini bracket, actually identical to what we're watching in the promotion relegation, where if you win 2 games, you're qualified. Otherwise, you have to fight your way through the lower bracket. Top 2 get qualified, seeded into this, and then it's just single elim, and then winner takes all. So basically, if we use this one as an example, Cold Metal play Hilarious. They'll go through to the upper bracket here. F-Word plays Zone X. Let's say F-Word win. These 2 teams will go to the lower bracket, so we'll have a LOL versus Z. And then, let's say Cold Metal win, as they should. Then F-Word will go down here. Let's say LOL win. Then F-Word versus LOL. F-Word win, like that. So chance to get repeat fixtures, everything like that. So yeah, so I think if I remember right, I think these group stage games are only first to 2 as well. So this group stage is going to be over 2 days, but I don't think it's actually going to be that long potentially group wise. I mean, I think we're at best of 5 for all of playoffs. Yeah, best of 5 for all of playoffs. It says they're all first to 3. Have they changed it? I was told it was first to 2 at one point, but told it was first to 2 at one point, but I think the format for this just seems to be in flux depending on the exact number of teams that are available. Well, it wouldn't let me use it unless I used non-source. Quality wasn't really bad, but I imagine it confused a lot of people. So is that what's happening to you now, Debees, or is it better now? We'll be streaming both here, Fitch. Yeah, we'll be covering both. I've been doing my research. I've been reaching out to the the depths of my contacts to find out about the players I can. Although some teams do remain. Oh, okay, so whatever situation now is better is what you're saying to these. But yeah, reaching out to the depths of my contacts to find all of these players, but some teams are still aloof. I think it's very much, you know, the nature of some of these teams are the same sort of teams you'd expect at just like your local British LAN or your local wherever LAN. Where it's just, if you're there, why not go? Why not go? Especially if you can just win 5k, right? Like if this type of LAN was in the UK, 100% my mates who don't even really play Overwatch at all would just pop along, see if they can get 5 grand. So yeah. It might be, the group stage is probably not going to be exciting at all. Playoffs, I mean the grand final is really all it is. Alright, where are we? I mean, default hunting at LAN because the other team's hungover. I mean, a bit harder in Riyadh that one, but always for play. Lucio banned from Dreamland as we move on to Midtown, so it's going to be a BAP Lifeweaver. Supernova going to lean into a BAP Kiriko, so Grapes can be backing up Ryan on this. Now, Grapes is a person who really excel. We've seen excel on Brig throughout the years. Kiri, not so much. We saw a little bit on some of that Lijiang Tower, but didn't really get going for Supernova. So eyes on Grapes for his performance here, while Dreamland are going to play Dion on the Hazard. Grip actually invested quite early on to manually to make sure he doesn't go down. So they've still got manually in this strong position as Supernova try and get a little bit more. They're trying to really bust open the flank here. But Dion shuts down Jutsu. But obviously the good thing about the Hazard is that ability to swap from side to side. But an even trade, and Astro's made a super aggressive move into the backline. This means Dreamland are really split now in terms of their formation. Trying to keep each other up, but Astro has indeed gone too deep. A late lamp from Renko. But Crepes is going to get 2 kills, so I guess it doesn't matter. They made it scrappy, they made it messy, and in these type of situations, the Kiri Tracer can really take over, and we're seeing that a little bit. Grip out now onto Dion to try and help him reset one more time. Dreamland nearly have ults for a retake, but they don't have a lot of time to work with because these ticks are going. Dion's going to try and get on it. Can he make it? Talisman goes first, shut down by Ryan. No chance to recall. Dion with a defensive wall. They force the Kitsune rush out. At least they get the ult out there, but really struggled to contain this Kiri Tracer. They got opened up on the flank and never really recovered their position from that. Supernova now walking forward, trying to set up on this high ground, get Jutsu in a strong position. Make it difficult for this BAP Lifeweaver to walk up. We see Geeke run this type of competition a lot on the bigger, more open maps here, because this type of comp, it's good when it can take space. Your Hazards, your Tracer, they can all take these chills. They're going to Window to try and reclaim the high ground. Window comes back here. Jutsu's going to have that lamp forced out early from Renko. Now coming through, more pressure. Pulse Bomb's good from Talisman as well. They shut that one down. Astro really keen to get the payload underneath, but Dion does not want to let that happen. And they will be good for the hold. Supernova will back it back up. And Window trade. Get to hold for a good position, and now this is where Dreamland's comp can really excel. When it's like with a Baptiste, can be quite hard for the Orisa team to connect on. Remember, no speed, no TP, no speed ring, nothing like this to help Supernova and Astro in particular close the distance, so they're going to have to try and play through their Tracer. Bowler's invested early, forces the lamp out from Renko. Trade comes in, downpour over the top, but Fortify's available, does get the lockup bow onto 2 targets behind that Orisa, converts both of those kills, and now Astro, no supports, easy kill afterwards. Late kill onto Grapes, and they'll secure this hold at the choke, continue to play from there. Supernova are getting up a pretty healthy bank of ultimates, but again, it all becomes about can they use those ultimates in a meaningful way. Astro wants to Terra Surge this Lifeweaver, Terra Surge this Baptiste, Terra Surge this Freya even, but difficult to get him into a position to use those. Dion's holding close, maybe messes up his wall clock. Oh my god, Dion. Oh, disaster here, and this is going to be easy. Jutsu's popped the overclock out of pity more than anything else, and it's going to be all the space for Supernova. Looking for a late kill here as well. Disruptor shot out. Rail's in there as well. Tracer looking for a trade. But Nothing doing, but Supernova still give a close hold. Astro can take this really aggressive position. They have to worry about Talisman behind, who is coming up close on a pulse bomb. And yet forces a recall actually out of Ryan. Astro's going to turn and try and deal with that as well. But Talisman is a nuisance. Astro's caught spit roasted by these two. Fortifies onto the point, but his cooldowns are about to run out. Might have to Terror Surge sooner rather than later. He tries to get to the bus stop. Window in response. Tree on point right now. But Dion not quite in position to use that one. It's back on the Orisa, but manually with an important kill. Dion's going to clean up Grapes on the point as the Kitsune Rush comes through. Talisman chasing all of these. Oh, Spear doesn't quite save his life. Dion's still trying to deal with this Tracer. Ryan comes back out, and it's still fire coming down from the high ground, but I think they've got too much stability now, Dreamland, with the Orisa. Little emote from Talisman. Both Tracers really are the stars on these teams. Gonna set up on the left-hand side from Talisman's point of view now. Pulse bomb in hand. Payload is quite far though, so they have to make sure they mark this here, Dreamland, as Ryan can look to pressure it underneath, pull him out of position. Talisman and Ryan are going to run into each other now. Talisman gets back to the mini, will be okay. Bola finds nothing from manually in main. Astro though can't cross on this timing, so it's going to remain a stalemate for now. Again, you see the Baptiste Neff leaning over Neff from Hanbei to make sure his Tracer can hold that position aggressively on the left. They've got some damage onto Dion, and now they can make a forward move if they want. Ryan has forced for recall. Recall advantage now for Ryan. Trying to take over. Cleansing forced. Ryan, potential to go for a pulse bomb attempt here. Maybe waiting for his next blink. Closes the distance a little bit more, and Dreamland are slowly but surely conceding space now. Terror Surge on Dion to try and hold that. Pulse bomb finds the stick. Lamp has been forced out here from Hanbei. They will be okay. Tracer cleared in the back now. Ryan regrouping with his team, trying to play the shield. Jutsu with the overclock walking forward. Window as well. Terror Surge pulls him in. The damage is good. Narwhal's going to die just before Tree. And this will finish it off. A window and overclock. They throw everything to make sure they get the damage on that Terror Surge, but it will secure him second point, even if it cost him a pretty penny. Forced free. More time on the clock. 2 minutes 20 seconds for Supernova to work with. They've got the Kitsune Rush coming up next as well, but Narwhal on course to that tree, and really, those two ults can pretty much cancel each other out. Window from Hanbei could be a swing factor. Just the Orisa mirror now from Dion after his hazard adventures. No control of the high ground just yet. Talisman is making his way up there. Narwhal can obviously create his own high grounds, and going to be a blink across. Jutsu's going to try and swing this aggressive angle as the Orisas will meet on the low ground. Kitsune rush to punish for shield timing. Dion's going to try and back that one up. Fortify and another shield out. They walk forward. They claim a lot of space, but no kills crucially. For Javelin forces for Suzu, and it's a successful disengage for Dreamland. They come back with two of their own ults. Talisman is in the back as well. The window seems pretty early from Hanbei actually. It does force the lamp out and force them at least all the way back. They reclaim the space they lost here, Dreamland. Back to a stalemate, but Narwhal continues to have this tree in the back pocket. Pops the tree as a body block onto Astro, but Astro's going to use the other door. He's trying to get out main. More body blocks coming in, but the shield is up. They're flooding in to help Astro, and Astro has successfully circumvented all of this. So the tree, in the end, finds nothing. Supernova coming up to their window turn, their Terror Surge turn, and they can start. They're trying to bully the Tracer out of position now. Shield on the side to clear Dion. Force him onto point. Trying to force for Fortify out as well. And Dion's just going to die. Shield, did he already have his Fortify forced? Dion just dies before the fight. An important trade from manually. Talisman's still keeping this point contested as well, so Kart is not moving. Talisman's going to bust for recall out now. Continues going for backline. Stick is good. Takes down Renko. What a trade from Talisman. Does eventually get shut down by Ryan, but these trades are going to stop meaningful progress from Supernova. He'll inch the Kart forward, but only up to this next corner before they can come back out here, Dreamland. And it will be another reset. 30 seconds left on the clock. Terror Surge available for both teams, but Supernova have more support ops to throw into this. Dion here, Terror Surge. We just need trades. It's really hard to win a clean fight for Dreamland right now with the ult disadvantage, but if they can find trades, they can bleed back out with the respawn advantage. Ryan's going to go over to top to try and clear this space. Eyes on the Tracer. Talisman a threat behind for now. Dion trying to bleed it out by time. Javelin comes through. Dion's just lurking into the backline right now as they get Kitsune Rush to go forward. They're going to break the petal and kill Narwhal, no problem. Flooding forward. Any trade is good. Dion on a bit of an adventure behind on his shield. He's, I guess, holding the angle. Pulse bomb through just onto the floor from Ryan. Forces the lamp nonetheless. Terror Surge back in from Dion. Looking for a quick kill. Does help kill Jutsu actually, but he trades for it. Window now from Renko as they try and finish it. Astro with the spear pushing it in. They need someone to get the touch. Talisman leaps on. He's so low though. Shield up to block any more heals. Window from Hanbei. Not in time, and they do get the full cap in the end, Supernova, but use their entire, they use the whole time back for it. Has Ryan been owning? Yeah. He's been owning. But yeah, pretty happy with that if I'm Supernova. Full cap on Midtown. Not straightforward at all. Is Sion a new player in the scene? I hadn't really seen him before I saw him in the Face It Masters playoffs for Dreamland, so don't really know what their history is. Comes in for a lot of the ground tanks. I think Ram and Orisa are probably the two heroes I've seen him play the most. So the Hazard was a little bit new, potentially. Dion is monkey happy? Oh, okay. That name rings a bell, actually. I don't have any meaningful memories of seeing him play, but the name rings a bell from some old OWCS rosters, at least. Okay, challenge ahead of Dreamland now. Supernova starting on more of the same. Bap, Kiri, Orisa. Much of the same for Supernova. Grapes and Ryan expected to play together. Try and control the right-hand side of the map. Ooh, follow me. Dreamland. TP out of spawn. See if they commit the sim. We see quite a few teams keep sim. Even teams who don't normally sim might sim on Midtown first point to try and help with some of these trickier rotations. But just wanted the skip out of spawn, so no looking into that one. No more. So instead, they're just going to take this Kiri, Tracer, Mirror, battle in that flank side position, using the Freya as well. Jutsu's Railer's out early. Hanbei uses the Suzu to help across. Now in a position to support Talisman, take the duel. Recalls have been forced, and Ryan, as you can see for space, Dion's crept up main 2. Jutsu on the high ground with Rail, but Hanbei's just getting a few free pop shots here. Astro holds for Train. Keeps Dion pinned back for now. Dion's going to try and go past him, but they won't let that happen. Astro's taking a lot of damage, backs it up to Train, and it's Grapes who actually finds the kill on the far side. Big battle on the flank. Recall's getting forced, but they're just winning on all fronts right now, Supernova. Tracer behind. Don't want to trade. Don't want to trade. And they secure it. And Renko's actually significantly ahead on all the support ults here. By all the support ults, I mean his support ult. They are ahead on Kiri, but it's a lot less significant than this. Renko's going to have a very early window. Chance to hit Dreamland early on the rotation with this, or just try and use it when they get into a more meaningful position, especially the Hazard fair. If the Hazard commits the shift, there's always a punish timing. Even with all the block, you can do a lot, but an early kill onto Ryan gives him space to work with. Dreamland can walk up, and Renko has had to window back, but Grapes has died during all of this. They've lost the flank really hard. Astro's pushed deep, but can't catch this Freya. Dion's really low. A bit of separation might lead to a trade. Astro can get that one, but he's in so deep now, so it's just a 1-for-1 trade still. Bola around the corner. Renko's going to try and get away from that, but cannot. They're getting themselves and their bodies on point now. And this should be the cap going the way of Dreamland. Jutsu's going to walk up, but I think Supernova will just be content. Actually, Ryan's going to blink free. Maybe they think they can recontest. Ryan's killed Hanbei? Wait, they maybe really can recontest. They're simply rushing for it. How on earth has Ryan got the kill? They need to take over the touch. Hanbei comes through now. Astro can take it over, though. He has Terror Surge. Dion's really low. The trades, though. Grapes and Ryan have fallen down. Astro has the Terror Surge, but he's got no one to use it on right now. Jutsu with the overclock. He takes it out. Talisman connects the pulse to shut it down. But the Ray, Narwhal dies inside it. The Spear just about saves Renko's life for now, but is it enough? No, Talisman still gets the kill. Ryan gets the trade. Supernova clinging on. Clinging on to this first point. Had to concede 2 ticks, 85.2% overall. But they hold on. They didn't even use that Terror Surge in the end because there were no clear targets. And they've actually got a Terror Surge Pulse combo if they want to go for it here. Chance to shut him down on the choke. Dion coming back on the Orisa now. Hanbei's going to TP onto the flank. Does have that Kitsune rush ready to go. Astro's taking a lot of damage and Grapes is in big trouble, but Ryan in the back. Pulse bomb out. Doesn't find anything. Eyes on the Juno. Here comes the Kitsune rush. Astro is low. Doesn't even use that Terror Surge. Really, really weird fight. I'm not sure why Supernova weren't able to find a time to maybe set up a Pulse Bomb Terror Surge combo. Astro's been sitting on his Terror Surge for a couple of fights now. And after their big clutch, they kind of just fall over in the next fight. Dreamland going to try and contest for the high ground, but Supernova will be there to meet him. But not really, yeah, they're just taking the angles on it. So they'll get the high ground for free, Supernova. They've got window, they've got Terror Surge. 3 minutes to try and hold this second point. Manly's taking just a load of damage. That's just an easy kill, easy reset. Again, this Tracer Kiri battle goes on the flank, but it seems like Talisman and Hanbei
are getting the better of that pretty consistently. Talisman's going to claim both of them. And it's going to be free cart push, and they can't commit to it. They're going to drop the window to try and fight it. Rail goes out. Juicy's trying to keep his eyes on the flank here. Knows his flank is currently not watched by his Kiri Tracer as they're in the respawn queue. But his window just buys him time. Bowler comes back from Manually, doesn't find anything. Lamp's been forced from Renko, but Juicy's got the kill on Manually during that attempt. Talisman's just focusing on the point now, but Astro drops to deny him. Spear forces him away. No recall just yet, so Talisman has to play scared. Looking for the Baptiste now as he comes back through. Renko down to half HP. Really wants to force the Lamp. TP back from Grapes to look after that, and Talisman has been cleared. Is Ryan on the chase here? Astro secured the choke. Ryan's not chasing the Tracer anymore. Window comes back. Astro's going to try and backstep with this spin. Regrouping on the high ground. Dion can push him forward a little bit, but Astro does have the Terror Surge if they come up too far. Talisman and Hanbei continue to force the payload, and Supernova just playing it slow for now, but it's still have this ult situation that equalize a little bit. Overclock comes through. Dion's going to Terror Surge that. I think he was booped as he cast it. Maybe he dropped down on purpose, but either way it finds nothing. Jutsu drops down with intent this time. Kills Narwhal with his first shot. Back to the high ground now to focus down the Orisa. Manually's been chased out soon as Orisa's looking very separated, trying to get all the way out. Spear comes through. One more rail attempt through it. Can't land it with the slide in. Dion's still very low, and the cleanup is good from Supernova. They can stabilize, hold close, minute and a half left on the clock. Lots of ults to throw into this one, and they want the late kill onto Manually. They're all peeking him, even though there is a lot of pocket coming through. Narwhal's going to jump up to swing, has to lamp here. Shield force, Astro continues to peek, more pressure. They're going to window actually. Dreamland caught in the open, forced all the way back, and Manually's going to die for it. Supernova keeping up the pressure. They even threw the pulse bomb in if it didn't find anything. Holding close now, Terror Surge and Kitsune Rush versus just a Kitsune Rush. Ult advantage as we enter final 60 seconds. And there's a chance here. Real chance for Supernova to take the lead in this series. Ryan will be cleared. Astro still holding this corner, looking for his Terror Surge opportunity. They're challenging, duking it out. Tracer v Tracer on point. Hanbei can TP to him, but he doesn't have a Kitsune Rush as well, so they need to use that ult in the fight. Regate's is going to go first. They're going to try and disengage this one. Hanbei needs to TP out, but TP's not great. It has to use the Lamp too. But the disengage will be okay. Astro has been booped super far in, but Terror Surge comes. TP available, Outfo, window and everything dropped. Astro is super deep, but Hanbei is 1 HP. They've used all the ults. Astro's desperate to regroup with his team. Both support ults out. Don't find any kills here from Dreamland. They have their DPS ults to go. They force the Lamp. Pulse Bomb out is good. Finds the stick. Renko falls. Talisman looking for more. Has to pick up the payload as well. They need to clean up on the high ground. Ryan with an important trade, though. Any trade is massive for Supernova now. And Ryan's going to find two. Both supports could not ask for more out of Ryan. Gets the Mega, stays alive. Still playing for this. Dreamland have no choice but to stay on point. But Ryan is behind and Astro is back on Diva. Disruptor shot to clear the shield. Here comes Ryan now looking for it. Focuses the Tracer down first. Wants to force that recall. Dreamland are flooding back. Terror Surges in. They'll blink out of that. Jutsu, though, not so fortunate. Dies. Grape's able to trade Talisman. Now the battle on point. Pulse Bomb onto the floor, though. Damage onto Dion, but nothing meaningful. Astro low on HP. They're on the back foot here. Dreamland are far from out of this now. Astro's desperately trying to stabilize. Window from Renko. The pocket not in time to save the mech, though. Renko needs kills with this window now, but the bolts come his way. He's going to get traded by Manually. Baby on point. Holding the cart for as long as Astro can. He's lasted a while, but not long enough. And Dreamland in overtime will keep this one going. On to third point. Minimal time available. I'm glad we've got the brains trust here solving Junkrat as well. So lots of positive things happening. Bowler versus Overclock. The Overclock much more consistent. Supernova on the defense don't have to force it. They're going to take this Kiri Tracer battle again. Disadvantage, though, of position. Ryan's going to wait for Grapes on the timing. They go up. Suzu to force that one. Doesn't find anything. Bit of shenanigans. And Renko's died in maintenance. Bowler. Jutsu has to pop the Overclock. Immediate kill onto Narwhal will equalize things. Doesn't find anything there. Dion. Jutsu's going to slide deeper. Body shot onto Manually as he fades away. Still finding trades, which is better for Supernova than it is for Dreamland. Finds another kill on the high ground. And Grapes and Ryan getting the job done. If they can find a late kill here onto Dion, it would be really frustrating. Ryan's keen to push it, actually. Has for Pulse Bomb. Fortify's been used. Yeah, Astro's cutting the exit. Dion in big trouble here. Pulse Bomb shield just in time to save his life. And Dreamland get away with that and now have double support and the Terror Surge coming back. Supernova, significant ult disadvantage, but they do have the advantage that the cart is so far back. They can afford to lose this fight and take a recontest. Might even be worth not investing from Supernova here, honestly. Kitsune Rush could come through though. Hanbei's gonna magic. Dion has the Terror Surge. Even trade on point so far, but Dreamland have more to throw into the bank. Dion looking for that Terror Surge opportunity. Walking forward. Narwhal dies 5% away from it. Dion drops the Terror Surge. Doesn't find any kills, but just falls the lamp. Flooding forward now. Ryan, any trade is good. And ult disadvantage, no problem. They just win the fight regardless. Ryan, Jutsu, Grapes, everyone finding kills. And it will be a good hold for Supernova. Thank you, Aristophanes, for the 9 months tier 1. And you were right. They should have this map. Thought it was going to have to be more of a tactical victory or a win over multiple fights, but just play the flanks, win your duels. Stuff will always fall apart. And really happy with that. If you're Supernova, lead in the series and now 1 map away from maintaining your spot in OWCS. Is there money up for grabs? No, I think there's no prize money or anything for promotion relegation. Obviously, the Face It Masters teams have already won some. I think it is purely just for spots. I think if I go to... Where do I want to go? I don't know if they won anything for... I don't want regular season, I want the OG. I don't know if they won anything for... Oh, they won 5,000 for 7th to 8th. So yeah, they've eventually already got money. And then I think Face It... I forget what first place was. Good night, Panda. I think, was it 7.5 grand for Face It or something? Yeah, 7.5 grand for first, 3 grand for second. So yeah, they've already had an amount of money. Like 7.5 grand actually. Obviously, that's more than you get for 7th or 8th. So at the moment, Dreamland and actually made more, and they might still get a spot. Pass it on to Blizz. Solved it. All right. 8 concussive anti-mines with and a gun. Okay. Sure. Okay. What am I looking at? Eliminated. Whoa. I'm gonna turn this down out of respect, I think, actually. I'm turn down even more. Need to keep it quiet on this side of things, you know? Ooh. What do I think about Stalker might not play LCQ in Esports World Cup? Yeah, it's really weird. I just wish Falcons wouldn't make all their statements through individual players sending semi-cryptic messages in their Discord. Like, just tell us. Just tell us. Like, is it that big a deal? Like, let's say you bench a player. Just say it, right? Because I think it's actually worse that everyone's speculating. From the team's point of view as well. Just to be like, oh, what's happening between Stalker and Nez? What are they doing? Blah, 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 blah. If they just gave like an official statement, you don't even really have to give the details, you know? You just have to say, internal decision, decided this is the best direction for the team. We're going to be running with proper merit primarily for the Esports World Cup, or last chance qualifier in Esports World Cup. Cool. And obviously, maybe people will speculate how they think it's better for the team, etc., but I feel like that's better than just
Isn't it a competitive advantage not telling other team your players? To a degree, but the fact is that Stalker and Proper have both alluded to this fact already, and also they'll know because of scrims, and even if they don't scrim them directly, like maybe for example Zeta and Falcons might not be scrimming each other directly in the build up to the LCQ, or at least as little as possible, but teams all know. I think never once in Overwatch League surprised by the starting roster we saw, or the roster we saw for each map. Everyone always knew. So I don't have to be too worried about it from I guess a competitive advantage standpoint. Low chance it could be a fake out, yeah, because I was talking to a couple of the teams to see if I could do interviews before the LCQ. And Zeta said yes, give or take availability, because they're obviously traveling. I think they're traveling tonight, technically. But Falcons declined, which is obviously a bit of a shame, because I feel like the onus is really on the teams to answer these. It starts on, is it Thursday it starts, I think Thursday. Yeah, they did play Stalker during the Crazy Raccoon game, which was probably their best performance in a while. Why permabench people and not keep them in your back pocket? I don't know. I think some of it is, I guess, what would you call it? Like player management side. I think when you have two players like Proper and Stalker who have essentially the same hero pool, you're either changing them arbitrarily, which is what we do see a lot of Korean teams, a lot of these star Korean teams do. I think there's real arguments. Now, Max and Jumbin have spent time just interchanging heroes. Smurf and Hanbin did it for a while as well, and both people just play. So I think that's one solution. But I think invariably, like if you're the starting flex DPS, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be, like, what's the way to say it? There shouldn't be a proper Tracer map and a Stalker Tracer map. There should just be who's our Tracer player type thing. I feel like it gets so messy when you're just swapping players for the sake of swapping players, and it's not as clearly defined roles. Yeah, I mean, they're both world-class players on Flex DPS. So it's really understandable they both want to play their best role. I think what mitigated it a little bit last year is, one, it was the first time they did it. And also there was a lot more situations where it was just double Flex DPS. Think about, was it Dallas where it was Venture Genji? There was much more Tracer Echo situations, at least on Ilios and some of the other maps. So there was much more times they could actually both play their heroes and have some sort of, yeah, Reaper Echo as well. Just much more situations where they could both play heroes in their comfort zone or heroes they like to play in. So I think that probably mitigated some of the issues. All right, let me close these preds. Let me lock in for this Esperanza. Because Dreamland are doing something very funky. They have banned the Orisa. Kiri ban in response from Supernova. But honestly, Wait, I don't think Supernova were expecting this comp. Banning the Kiri if they're going to play Anna Bull Tracer. Yeah, I feel like Dreamland have actually maybe given them a very difficult situation here. A lot of eyes on Renko and his survivability during all of this, because he's going to get harassed, he's going to get nades thrown at him, all sorts of things, and him and Grapes are going to have to play very well. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Grapes even go Brig, potentially, or even a Juno Brig swap, maybe.
What they can also do is just immediately kill Pella, and one way to help your BAP live versus all these different threats is just kill them. Kill them before they even get close to your Baptiste. Exactly what Supernova were able to do here. Renko's going to get close to the window, Jutsu to the close to the high noon, and this payload will be rolling. Remember, on these push maps especially, payload control is always important, and for Dreamland, Talisman is going to have to take a lot of that responsibility, because really if your ball is forced to touch point all the time, that ball's value just drops off a cliff. You don't want your ball to be having to spend their HP and their cooldowns contesting. You want them to be harassing, forcing the shift, forcing the lamp out of Renko, setting up kills. Hanbei's about to have the nade, but Supernova, they just stood on the bloody point. Really hard for Talisman to contest it against the Ramatra. It'll get tapped in. That's checkpoint already. Ryan's actually harassing him. It's an aggressive swing from Manually, who died. Bowler Jacks, I think that was going for it. Lamp was used. Maybe the Bowlers did go off. Either way, bad for Dreamland is the answer to that. Respawn, Nano available from Hanbei if they want, but there is a good nade, maybe a trade. Pella can get that one. It's a Lucio. If Pella wants as well, can even eye a spawn camp here, honestly. Talisman is in a position to try and contest, trying to focus down the Tracer. Eyes on Ryan. Ryan's in big trouble. Pella can trade that, but both Tracers full. Messy fight now, messy situation. Still waiting for everyone to come back, and Supernova are going to try and slow it down at the choke. Nano available for Dreamland. Interested to see what direction they go. Might just be a Nano Freya to essentially go with the dive, giving that Freya the extra survivability to take these aggressive ones. But Grape should have a perfect answer in this beat. Jutsu's going to drop to try and contest it. Nano goes out onto Pella, actually. Narwhal's going to die just short. Sleep is good onto Ryan. Do they have the execution? No, recall goes off. Ryan's right back. Pulse bomb out, boot, but Hanbei still gets the kill. Doesn't matter, but Astro through trading him. Again, a very scrappy fight full of trades, but Jutsu has got a few extra meters on the payload there. Going to get a few more thanks to Astro as well, who will just back up, reset with his team top. They will regroup. He's going the long way, actually, so if they're quick, maybe a chance to punish him. Pella's going the long way round, actually, so he wants to see if they can find it, and yeah. Spot for Baptiste. I don't think they know Pella is here. They're about to find out. Renko's going to get slammed. Window comes through. Mine's on that one as well. Lamp in the corner, but Renko in all sorts of trouble and completely unaware the ball was above him there. Easy Mines conversion for Pella. 1-for-1 ult trade. All the cleanup for Pella. And now they are back. Back in control of the robot, but significantly behind. 94 meters. Big lead to work with. Supernova can really minimize the cart push here. Make it really painful for Dreamland to gain meaningful meters. Beat available for Narwhal. Pella again just playing on the rooftop. Everyone playing on the rooftop to try and get Supernova on this rotation. Slam onto Renko. Big trouble. More pressure. Manually's going to fall up in main, but Renko's had a lot of his cooldowns forced. Astro coming to try and clear a bit of a path for his backline. They keep Renko alive for now, and they can reposition and regain control of the point. Ryan's traded Hanbei in the back. And they'll be okay for now. And honestly, so far, Supernova have done a pretty effective job of keeping Renko alive in a lot of these situations. Hanbei going for Baptiste is a bit of a weird choice as well. I know Kiri's not available, which is maybe what they typically want to play with this. But the Baptiste feels a really awkward fit compared to the Ana. Maybe an element of comfort here for Hanbei. It can still just play an independent role to a degree as well. Play almost more just to poke and probe from the back. Lamp's going to be forced from Renko on the way in. Manually's traded. 1-for-1 trade. Main source of healing gone now for Supernova. So only so much they can do in this fight. Even trades. Pulse Bomb is available. Ryan really keen for that. Has to kill the Lamp before it. Has got Grapes with him, and they do kill Hanbei. Ryan and Grapes going to maybe just try and do it all. Astro's still anchoring point 2. They're down respawn advantage, but with a Lucio behind, can they find the kill? Yeah, Grapes and Ryan really all over in there. Nowhere to go for Narwhal. They need to get the kill. There we go. Astro's trying to live on point. Has the Annihilation still. Pops it to live. Pulse Bomb's wide from Ryan, but he might get the kill nonetheless. Lamp is perfect from Hanbei. Keeps him alive. More pressure, though. It's not enough to keep Manually up through all of it. Now pushing forward. And Supernova so close to securing their spot in OWCS. Tracer pressure behind. Big flank coming in from Dreamland here. All committing to this. Wanted to play for Trace, but the car continues to move forward. They have to be careful. Hanbei with the window in the back. Grapes has the beat. Talisman's trying to force the issue inside. Can't find that. Astro still anchoring point. Support ults available. Both teams here. Narwhal with the beat on the high ground. Looking for a slam opportunity as Pella poking, amping, looking for it, trying to keep Manuel alive through all of this. Beat comes in response to the window. Grapes is going to hit a later beat now. Forced all the way back. Hiding from Jutsu, forces that DP. Can't find any kills with it. Trying to come through, but has to watch for mines. Ryan's hunted down Narwhal through all of this, but he needs help. Has the recall. Pulse bomb attempt on the recall, but avoided by Ryan. He's still trying to force the issue. Groups up. Pressure now onto Talisman. Pella's trying to harass the backline, but they need trades. The payload's moving forward. Bowler gets so much damage as Narwhal gets the touch, but he is in big trouble. He dies. Pella can take over. Manny and Pella with trades apiece. Pulse bomb from Ryan. They were so keen to finish him, but they needed that pulse bomb to land. And Dreamland, they cling on to their chances in this series. They deny Supernova. They hold them for now. But 141 meters versus 15. 3.5 minutes left on the clock. There's a ball comp on the push as well. And it is a long, long, long way back for Dreamland. Gonna try and find the setup. Pella has been playing these rooftops all Esperanza long. This time Grapes is gonna have a little looky-loo. Expecting to see a ball. Doesn't see the ball initially. Now the boot coming through. Denies Pella a little bit. Flashbang 2. Slam onto the high ground. Jutsu rolls back to the team. Pocket is good for now and Pella has been cleared. While they're dealing with this ball, you can see Astro is just playing very slow. Stands on payload. Doesn't use their cooldowns unless they really have to. Window from Hanbei for an attempted clutch here. And sense of desperation a little bit from Dreamland to go for that one. It feels like Dreamland's starting to run out of ideas, relying on the Pella ball, Tasma Tracer. They're two best players on their two best heroes, but a tough map for it on the Esperanza. Jutsu's going to find an early kill off the back of this window. Payload is moving forward, they're rotating away. Pella nearly has the mines, but Hanbei has hoped to get out of position, and Jutsu is on the hunt. Hanbei's actually found a kill onto it now, and jukes him as well. Having trouble, Jutsu's going to get traded by the pulse bomb as well. Disaster for Supernova. Can tell they thought it was just going to be a kind of a tap-in at the end. But a clean fight. Well, not a clean fight, never mind. Astro manages to find a trade on Narwhal. A nearly clean fight, and Velucia will be back quick enough, I guess. But 2 minutes left, 2-minute warning. Long way back, and Supernova can really manage the clock now. With Astro anchoring point in all of these fights, Dreamland are never gaining significant meters. And they're struggling to win the fight cleanly in a lot of these situations as well, so they're always traded. So again, this limits their progress. So this 15 meters really hasn't grown at all, despite Dreamland winning a fair few fights in these last few minutes. Slam and Mines coming through, and Grapes has been separated. High noon from Jutsu in main, finds a kill onto manually somehow. I think maybe a boop setting that one up. Maybe a speed, just got him into position. Jutsu now trying to deal with the Tracer threat on the hunt. Tries to flashbang the recall, but Talisman out of there. Forces for Lamp, but Grapes is there with a pocket. Pella doubles in for the kill. They're desperate to save Renko in this, and they can save Renko in this. Now with a minute left, it's Dreamland who need to find the fight wins, who need to find the success, but it's Supernova who have all the tools. They are pushing to the end. They have the beat, they have the annihilation. All they need is to get these ults off, kill Narwhal before he can get to a beat of his own. Jutsu's hiding early too, swings out and manually completely unaware. Big problem for Narwhal, flashbang connects. Now we just need to avoid any trades and all the ults on point. Jutsu's going to get one on the exit. Now they want to kill Pella, and there's nowhere for Pella to go. Does get the Mega, but what difference will it make? Pulse Bomb to make sure it's done, Annihilation to make sure it's done. Beat the cherry on top, and Supernova will be an OWCS in Stage 3. 2 3-1s. Thank you, Psycho Shiro, for the tier 1.
It's a sad day for certified pedophiles everywhere.
Dilduck sweep inbound. Maybe. Maybe. Where are we now? Are we coming up to the last game? I feel like I know it's 2:30, which isn't the greatest. It's not the worst. I feel like don't know. It has just. I'm on the wrong thing completely, aren't I? It has. Is this the right one? Here we go. It has map 5 banger written all over it, doesn't it? You know, Dreamland go 3-2 versus the Ducks.
Vimber Ducks go 3-2 versus Young and Beautiful. Similar scorelines. It just feels like outside Supernova, these teams are so evenly matched. Obviously, this bracket is wrong now. That Supernova is very much meant to be Dreamland. Got work tomorrow, I should sleep. Yeah, I mean, that was always the problem. This game was expected to be kind of what we got, honestly. There was maybe a bit of excitement at the start when Dreamland got their map, but Supernova, once they got going, just looked increasingly confident. But this is obviously the promotion relegation game. Dilducks trying to cling on to their spot. Will be battling out against Dreamland. Ooh, but I'm really tired. I'm really tempted to have another slice of cheesecake because it's a whole series we've got, right? Yeah, Kunter is dead, unfortunately. Oh, shout out to Hadidas as well for grabbing the tap right now. The third and final slice. I think that's where we're at. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Because the unlikeliest result, either way, is that it's just a free aim. Alright. I imagine we're going to have a decent break between these games as well, since Dreamland have to play back-to-back, so we might be looking at 10 minutes, so I'll drop us a big act. I mean, it's literally what I'm doing, Steve. Oh. Okay, yeah, let me drop the ad, let me get the cheesecake, let me get myself geared up for one more series. Potential barn burner. And we can go from there. Just need... my room's really warm because it's very small and it's quite warm in the UK, so I also kind of just need the cold of downstairs for a bit. Be right back. Ooh.
interview ready with Jutsu. It's going to be audio only, but Jutsu, do you hear us already?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello?
Okay, great. Well, first off, I just want to ask you guys, I mean, I know you guys maybe came into this promotion relegation as the favorite, arguably being the 7th seed, but to requalify, to have another shot at stage 3, what's your team's mindset coming into that stage 3 now and competing once again at the top level?
Mainly just like focused on not, disappointing like fans or anything. Just want to solidify ourselves as like a strong like top 4 NA team. We did not do that the first time, but I believe we can do it this time.
I'm back.
Okay, so now with, again, being able to lock down this spot, looking...
How many cheesecakes is that?
Future aspect
One
of the greener
cheesecake.
Pastures, what is the most important thing that you think you're
we got Jutsu
continue
interview.
to do to elevate yourselves that would make you even better as a group and more formidable in that coming stage?
I think we just need a bit of a wake-up call. Just like something to like knock everyone into place. I believe we all have the mentality now to like do what we need to do, get it done.
All right, Jutsu, I want to talk about your game a little bit there. Obviously, Freya was introduced for stage 2 and threw a bit of a wrench in things for a lot of Hitscan players around the region. Just want to ask about your comforts running Freya. Do you feel more comfortable on Sojourn and Cassidy? How do you feel about the Hitscan situation as it stands?
I like Freya a lot. I feel like she's very dynamic. Allows you to really change the game in your own, your way, your own eyes. Just like have a grasp on the game in a different way. I think it's just a lot more skill expression, but I would say I prefer more hard hit scan.
Balanced take, reasonable perspective. Jutsu, thank you so much for coming on for the interview. Congrats again on you guys' placement. We hope to see great things from you guys in stage 3. Maybe this promotion relegation is that wake-up call for you guys to like come back in as a much stronger foe and achieve a better placement this time around. I definitely think your performance today shows that it's absolutely possible. So good luck to you guys going forward, and thanks again for the interview.
Thank you for having me.